half of the bracket to make it here. Panda lost before winners quarters.
Panda lost to, I can't remember who Panda lost to, but I know that.
Also Yumu. Also Yumu.
Also Yumu. He beat Aiken to get here.
Actually, then they might have played in winners quarters.
He beat Miden, the hero from Wisconsin, to get here, and he just beat Superdan. So he's had quite the loser's run. As you mentioned, Earl got far, lost to Ned, I believe. If that's correct. Sounds correct.
No,
no. He lost
both
to...
of these players lost to Yumu.
Lost to Yumu, sorry. Wrong side. So here we are, losers semis. We have Ned waiting in losers finals and Yumu Smash Bros waiting in grands. In the meantime, Villager Sephiroth, matchup that seems at its surface really, really difficult for Villager, but if you can get the Sephiroth off stage and maybe figure out a way.
He ran out of gas.
Oh, he was just talking about this. The same thing happened in the dance set, his last game. That is a weird, weird situation where if you use too much stuff with Villager, I guess, off stage, he runs out of complete juice and just falls and dies.
Yeah, it's like Rob running out of gas. You almost never see it, but it does technically exist in the game.
Well, Rob doesn't have moves that specifically eat all his gas. Villager has one, which is very odd.
Well, actually, any of Rob's aerials that use like the jets, right, like his back air, that will burn his gas. Only very slightly.
Only slightly. Villager has one that just takes it away completely. But I forget how exactly that works. I have to ask Panda. He was explaining it, and I didn't quite catch it.
Yeah, again, for Rob, like it's almost irrelevant because he has so much gas in the first place. There are no Robs on the screen, so we'll talk about Rob another time.
Yes. In the meantime, both players, one stock down. Villager, kind of notoriously over the course of Villager's Smash Brothers history, dating back to 2014, generally has a tough time dealing with large swords. Sephiroth being the largest sword, so you think on paper, uh-oh, that's scary. But Sephiroth can get kind of comboed, kind of juggled, not have a hard time approaching, but can actually get outranged by Slingshot in some situations. And Panda, depending on the time frame of the game, sometimes he will go the route of getting aggressive, getting up in Sephiroth's face because he can't always ward people off, and sometimes try to space Slingshot. He's pretty good at the matchup, all things considered.
Yeah, as good as you can be, and you have to take advantage of the lightweight of Sephiroth, right, which we saw Yumu do in spades in the winner set versus Ned. Just take this character, ladder him to hell, hit him with your burst option that'll kill at the ledge at like earlier than almost every other character in the game. Do what you can do in that respect, but the problem is now you got to get into those neutral wins to get in that position, and it can be really hard to win neutral against this guy. And look at that, wait out the ride on the Lloyd rocket. Whoa, that tongue twisted me to hell and back. The ride on the Lloyd rocket and a free counter, gonna be the easiest stock in EarlOfM's game 1.
I am not sure what Panda's game plan was there, riding the Lloyd rockets right at the Sephiroth.
Oh,
but
yeah. Sure.
I definitely know what his game plan was there. Dumpster the Sephiroth off stage and then die immediately. Probably not the second part, just the first part. As Earl going to take game 1, counter doing the bulk of the work. Earl catching Panda, I guess, kind of sleep in that second stock, and that third stock was just super clean.
Lloyd rocket just does not work versus Sephiroth, apparently.
Yeah, that counter's too good. And sometimes you just blow up.
I was talking to Pow Pow about that. That is just like the best counter in the game, right? Like,
oh, it has to be, yeah, absolutely. I used to think it was like maybe Corrin's, because Corrin's is also really good, but who plays Corrin? So, yeah.
Reed mentioned Joker's counter, which would have been, I think, for sure the best counter in the game before Sephiroth came out. But that counter just does it all.
I'm still on the Tetrakarn train, but you don't always have Tetrakarn. And Sephiroth always has counter.
But that counter's still, Joker's counter is still good even without Tetrakarn.
Oh, you can get caught going for that too hard, because you can get stuck in it a little bit. But there are characters that can just die at like 30. Sephiroth's, on the other hand,
you can't get caught for doing it too much because it's just an amazing move anyway.
Yes.
It's just good.
Sephiroth's is weird because it always has projectiles coming out of it, even though it's a counter. So even if you like predict wrong and your opponent tries to hold back and do nothing, oh, Panda went for it all there. looking for the down air. Sephiroth's counter can still hit things even if you like miss your opponent doing something because of those small projectiles that come out. That, I think, is what makes it the best.
Well, that was a good punish on the counter. Making sure that we have to respect that it is not necessarily always safe. Good stuff from Panda, and he's got to find a way to steal the stock, though, from this position here. That shield is tiny, tiny little skittle.
Yeah, this is the difficult part, I think, more than anything for Villager in the Seph matchup. Despite how light Sephiroth is, and that was a great catch on the short up, Villager, a character that can normally get some good kills on light characters with things like Bowling Ball or Tree or just like some good offstage games, will actually struggle to kill Sephiroth more frequently than you would think, especially when he has one wing. Because you can't always catch landings, he can kind of outrange with sword. It can become more difficult.
But doing a pretty decent job of it here on this stock, and using that slingshot as much as possible to pressure these platforms. But the pressure right back from EarlOfM. Now looking for the Aerith killer on the side. Not going to quite find the mark.
Dash attack, that was dangerously close, that dash attack to hitting Panda. It looked like it clanked with something. Prevented Panda from exploding. Falling up air, not quite doing the job. Now Panda has a little bit of a chance to get back in the game. Catch him with a couple slingshots off stage. Earl making it back, and there's the dash attack.
That was so sad.
That hit a little bit lower because of the slopes, pulling Sephiroth a little bit down during the dash attack.
And Villager's recovery bounced off of the ledge instead of grabbing it because of the slope.
Earl tried to juke the bowling ball and could not get the angle to both avoid bowling ball and recover. So despite that, Panda evening the game out. Oh, approaching tree. It's 2021. Can't do that. Wait a minute, though.
Oh, but okay, you got the answer back.
that was some of the coolest 33% I have ever seen. Steal the wood block and just go places. Parry counter.
I like it.
Yes, please.
A lot of players that I've seen on the stream in the past couple of weeks have just struggled to punish the Villager jab. It's so ambiguous about when it ends, and then like the finisher has a little bit more range than you'd expect. So it's just tricky to find the right timing on punishing that move. So I guess Earl's got something labbed out, and there you go, the back air. Gonna seal the deal on the platform. I think that was another jab attempt, but like if the jab whiffs, it's so unsafe on whiff.
Yeah,
so.
he went for the jab expecting Earl to land, and Earl jumped, and as soon as the grab frames came out, he was dead to rights. Earl just had the landing back air. That's all she wrote. That is a strong move on a tiny stage. And the Yoshi's jank, a little bit of jank in that stage. The Panda was going for the wall kind of delays that he was trying to do, all that stuff, winds up backfiring because you died a back air at 95 or whatever it was.
Yeah, being stuck on the platform aided to the stock being taken so early, of course. But as far as just the... Oh, you can pocket the project... Okay.
I think you can only pocket one of the hits, though.
One of the little stars.
Yeah, not the whole thing.
How goofy is that?
Because I believe they're technically multiple projectiles. I'd have to ask Panda, you know better than me.
I mean, it didn't look like it was super valuable out of the pocket, but...
Probably why he threw it immediately.
Okay, good stock.
Panda's looking super clean this stock. He was catching every landing, won like 7 or 8 neutrals in a row there. But despite all that work, 86% Sephiroth going mighty deep there.
Not done.
Yeah, still going, and dead. Okay, so...
I thought the wing might pop up there. If the wing had popped up while Earl was all the way in the bottom blast, he might have been able to make it back.
He had wing. He jumped again at the end, but he had lost the first jump.
Oh, he never got the first jump.
Right, so he only had the one jump anyway. And Yoshi's has that bizarre property where the slopes and the ledge itself hangs a little bit over where the walls are. So there's like a corner you can bounce off of and go flying. So I think, honestly, even if he had both jumps, he wouldn't have been able to make it back. He went so far into the corner.
Really goofy interaction, but now things slowing down a bit here. Although that slingshot going to speed up the pace maybe as Villager going deep. Gets something for his troubles, though.
Good tech from Panda averting any actual disaster on what was a excellent edge guard with those multiple slingshot hits. But now he's off stage in a scary spot. narrowly avoiding the up smash. Gets back there anyway.
Is there ever a situation in this matchup where you'd feel confident enough to throw the standard B?
Hell no. Maybe if it was a villager who went all the way down into the lowest blast zone in the game, I would charge it up and let it rip while the balloons were coming, and that is the only possible way I can foresee it.
Like
It seems like a bad idea.
it could just go so wrong in so many ways.
Sephiroth has enough good tools in this matchup to never have to do that. But Earl is charging it just to see if Panda at any point decides to go low, because he can cancel it at any time. Oh, here it is. There's a time. Like, he went super low. It probably wasn't even going to hit him. But on the unlikely chance it would have, Panda had to stay with that low against the wall recovery. I'm not even sure what it accomplishes, but it's technically an option. I do kind of like that Earl did it just to show us when, given the question.
I think he's trying to like force pocket, and like maybe after the cancel you can get out there after the pocket shows up and then go for something else. I don't know. Yeah, but that's super dead.
Yeah, super dead, stuck on the wall. Good stuff from Panda Bair, solid run, but Earl gonna shut that down pretty quickly with a very strong 3-0 win in the Sephiroth Villager matchup. Earl advances to losers finals, continuing a solid number of runs over the course of multiple admissions that he has been to. He was in Winterside Grands a couple